1 p.m. Eastern, right here on CRN Digital Talk, for the hottest talk with people who are standing up to the political machine and standing up with you.
Everybody's talking at me.
CRN Digital Talk Radio, the original Talkback with Chuck Wilder, Paul Stern, taking the toll-free calls, 1-800-336-2225, 1-800-336-2225. Want to remind you that we're live across America on this favorite radio station or this cable system around the world at www.crntalk.com. Also want to mention that we're now heard in Phoenix and Tucson, so we welcome you brand new listeners there. Monday, my guest, Terry Jeffrey, Editor-in-Chief, CNS News. Is the 2010 census counting homeless people twice or more? Kerry Pickett from the Washington Times going to talk about a wrangle on White House faith in the BP. He says they don't have the slightest clue. And Chelsea Schilling, WorldNet Daily, Acorn, poverty pimpin' for the Democrats. What a story that is. Pardon me. You know, I wanted to bring this to your attention. This is a very interesting story, and if you gamble at all, and if, like the lottery or slot machines, listen to this. Mary Ann and Jim McMahon thought that their money troubles were over when they hit an $11 million jackpot at the Cripple Creek Casino. Turns out they were wrong. The Wildwood Casino blamed a slot machine malfunction for this $11 million jackpot. Now, the machine was turned over to the Colorado Gaming Division for inspection. Spokesperson says their initial investigation shows the McMahons didn't really win the $11 million prize June 1st. Gaming spokesperson Don Bermunia said the machine failed to reset after the McMahons won a $1,627 prize. They actually won $1,627, said Romania. The $11 million was what we call a reset value. It's what the jackpot would have been after the prize was claimed. Well, it is the second time in 3 months that a Colorado slot machine has made a multi-million-dollar mistake. In March, a machine malfunctioned for a $42 million jackpot. These things rarely occur, but when it rains, it pours, Brimamania said. Still, the McMahons feel they deserve the jackpot. They're feeling some mistrust with the gaming industry. Really, if you do hit a jackpot, are they going to come up with another story? It's a malfunction? It's just not right, Jim McMahon said, and I agree with him. Now, what do you think of this? The International Red Cross says that it's going to continue giving first aid training and kits to Taliban fighters in Afghanistan. Despite a media report on the practice that has drawn angry emails from around the world and criticism from Afghan officials, the International Committee of the Red Cross trained over 70 members of the armed opposition in first aid last month, along with more than 100 Afghan police and civilians, including taxi drivers. The courses started in 2006, and the neutral group, that's the International Red Cross, says they will continue as long as they are needed. It's the core of the ICRC's mandate to make sure that people are cured, whether they are from one side or the other side. Now, see, to me, I don't know how long this practice has been going on, but I know, you always heard in World War II how the Red Cross packages were never delivered to the prisoners, that were locked up in, say, in Japan or Germany or whatever. But I'd never heard of the Red Cross giving packages to the Germans or the Japanese, and so maybe this is something new, or maybe they did, and it just slipped through my radar. Republicans are stepping up their criticism of U.S. Supreme Court nominee Elena Kagan. They're saying that memos that she wrote when she was a law clerk for Justice Thurgood Marshall are evidence of a judicial activism. Kagan's clerkship for Marshall, 1987-1988, will be the focus now in her confirmation hearings, said Senator John Kyle of Arizona. He is a member of the Judiciary Committee that will hold hearings on Kagan's nomination beginning June 28. Her notes to Marshall on which cases the court should review reveal time and time again an effort to reach a certain result in a case, Kyle said. Senator Jeff Sessions, ranking Republican on the Judiciary Committee, also said at a news conference with Kyle that her views were results-orientated. Obama nominated Kagan, 50 years of age, to replace retiring Justice John Paul Stevens on the 9-member High Court. Former Dean of Harvard Law School, Kagan is now U.S. Solicitor General, the Obama administration's chief courtroom lawyer. Democrats, who control 59 of the Senate's 100 seats, want to have Kagan confirmed well before the next Supreme Court term begins in October. And as we mentioned, speculation is that President Obama wants to make sure she gets in there because we've got, pardon me, the health care case is going to be debated. Is it constitutional? Arizona's SB 1070. Oh, there's a lot of things that are going to be coming up. So he's got to make sure that he gets her in there, because here it is. I mean, her thing is that, let me see if I can find this exactly, that her views are results-orientated, sort of a pre-selection, it sounds like to me. Well, the president is threatening a veto on a resolution from Senator Lisa Murkowski, Republican of Alaska, that would ban the Environmental Protection Agency from regulating carbon emissions. But if the president were forced to use his veto to prevent legislation emerging from a Congress in which his own party enjoyed substantial majorities, it would be humiliation for him and for Democrats on Capitol Hill. So Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid, Nevada, and other Democratic leaders are now doing what they can do to stop it. They are floating the possibility of voting on an alternative measure from Senator Jay Rockefeller, a Democrat from the cold state of West Virginia, which they previously refused to grant floor time. Now, a spokesman for Reid declined to comment on the offer, but Democrats, let's see, I think it was Wednesday, thought it was good enough to win a crucial vote on the Republican resolution. Murkowski, ranking member of the Energy and National Resources Committee, is using the Congressional Review Act, an element of the Contract with America, which allows Congress to overturn executive branch regulations with simple majority votes in both chambers, and the Review Act expedites a floor vote. Now, Republicans don't have the two-thirds majority they would need in both chambers to overturn an Obama veto, but Republicans say passing the resolution through one chamber would be a big win. Anything close to half the Senate says that is a congressional responsibility and not the administration's. That's a strong message from the country to the president, said Senate GOP Conference Chairman Lamar Alexander from Tennessee, referring to the EPA plan to regulate carbon emissions under the Clean Air Act. Now, Democrats suffered a serious setback earlier this week when Rockefeller, chairman of the Senate Commerce Panel, announced that he would vote for Murkowski